Before I start digging out Gareth Southgate, today is the last day of our 12 Days of Hammers Chat Christmas. It's the very, very last offer. It's a hat and a scarf bundle for 15 quid. They're usually a tenner each, so you get a fiver off. Once they're gone, they're gone. I don't just say that. I know everybody says that on adverts and things like that, but I'm serious. The pin badges, they're gone. The mugs, they're gone. The Vazte t-shirts, they're gone. The stuff is gone, basically. So we're clearing the decks so we can get more stuff in for Christmas. Go and check it out. The link is in the description below. Or just go to hammerschatstore.com. Gareth Southgate. It's in the World Cup. Don't feel like the World Cup. Does not feel like the World Cup at all. I think it probably doesn't help that I didn't watch the first couple of games. So my first experience of the World Cup will be watching the England game. And I'm going to watch the England game, and rightly so. So I should. And I'm sort of relying on Southgate and his merry men to get me in the mood for it, really, because I'm not feeling it. I'm really, really not. And I think there's a number of reasons. I think, the whole thing about the World Cup being in winter, which we've obviously already discussed. We haven't discussed it much at all, if at all, on this channel. Don't like it being in winter. Basically, you feel better in the summer. There's a buzz, isn't there? Do you know what I mean? There's a spring in your step. There's the big screens up in the pub. People around your house for barbecues. There's none of that is happening at the moment. So I think that doesn't help. Slap bang in the middle of the season doesn't particularly help. Not many people are going over there. I don't know anyone that's going over there. Usually I do European Championships, World Cups. I know lots of people are going over. I don't know anyone that's going over to this one. I think so. You sort of feed off their excitement. If you've got mates that are going to these things, you feed off their excitement, don't you? And they're sending you pictures and stuff when they're over there. None of that's happening. So I think so. Also, there's I think the Nations League performance, particularly the humbling against Hungary, and just mostly the way Gareth Southgate plays. There's a lot of parallels between the David Moyes way of playing and how Gareth Southgate plays. And I've said this with Moyes. I've said it with lots of managers. Don't get to the end of your career and have regrets. And I like Gareth Southgate, by the way. He seems like a nice guy. And I think maybe the accusation is maybe a little bit too nice. Maybe not. I don't know. As I'm sure there are nice guys that have won major trophies before. I'm quite certain of it. But I can't think of any right now. But I'm sure there are. And I want him to do well. But also, I think this is it. This is the last hurrah. I think if he wins the World Cup, he'll retire, obviously. Retire really happy. I think if he doesn't, then I don't think he'll carry on. I really don't. So this is his last chance to go for it. I think he should go for it. I think he's been a little bit defensive. Just over his whole reign. But he's done good work. I mean, let's be fair. Gareth Southgate has taken England further than they have since Alf Ramsey. That's great. And I don't think you can really understate all the good work he did as technical director. Well, him and Trevor Brooking, funny enough, as technical directors, and anybody that's got young kids and you take them to go and play football, all that stuff, the small goals, the 7-a-sides, the passing it, the retreat into the halfway line so the team can pass it out for back. All of that stuff, that was all put in place by Southgate and Trevor Brooking. And because it was all just, when I was a kid, it was we were playing 11-a-side on pitches that were too big, goals that were too big. Everything's right now, from the schools to the parks football to the way that they have the respect zone. Where, let's be fair, we've all seen parents who have got a little bit too much to say for themselves at kids' football matches. All of that stuff, it just works. Well done, Gareth. Well done, Sir Trev. And I guess he deserved the England job, and he's done well. But he has been a little bit cautious. 2 defensive midfielders, we didn't need any. 2 defensive midfielders plus 3 central defenders. It just sort of smacked of a manager who went in being fearful. And when I look at Southgate, he's been undone tactically on a number of occasions. I mean, Mancini in the final against Italy, was it a couple of years ago now? Whenever it was, but it seems very recently. He was just outdone. He was 10, 15 minutes behind him tactically. And we had enough talent to beat Italy. We really should have done. Don't get me wrong, they had some good players, some really good players, but I thought their best player of the tournament up to that point was Spinazzola, who was there playing at left back, left wing back, something like that. He was out. You know, we had a lot of things in our favour. I just think, I wonder if he looks back and thinks maybe I was a little bit too defensive. I wonder if he looks back and thinks maybe tactically I should have tweaked that. I think if you are short a little bit tactically, then go for it. Particularly when you have got the type of attacking players that England have got. And we've just got them in abundance. It's not just Harry Kane. Look, Harry Kane is a wonderful striker. Really is. Harry Kane I think it's only the form of Haaland that's really diminished Harry Kane. But Harry Kane's form has been the same for quite some time. He just scores a ton of goals. And also he's technically really good. He can head the ball. He can drop off and play the pass. Really good. We're lucky to the point where when Harry Kane retires or whatever, it's unlikely England will have a striker that good. But we've had strikers before when we had an absolute glut of them. You know, you look at when we had... You know, Robbie Fowler couldn't really get in the team because of Alan Shearer. And there were loads of them at that time. As Ferdinand was playing, Andy Cole was banging goals in. You know, there was a lot of forwards at that particular time doing very, very well. But the supply line wasn't as good. Ian Wright, of course. The supply line wasn't quite there. Now it is. You look at what Phil Foden's doing at Premier League. Look at Jack Grealish. Look at Mason Mount, Sterling, Saka. These players are very, very good. There is a supply line. So don't stick the ball and chain on them. Don't restrict them. Allow them to express themselves. And go for it. I always get me sword and me shield thing. But whatever. Go out on you with your swinging your sword and on your shield. And all the things. With the full armour. The shield, the sword, the armour. All the stuff. Right? Go out. The lance, the jousting. All of it. All of it. All your medieval sayings. Do them all. Right? But go out. Don't go out with regrets. So I'm not too bothered about Iran. You know, forget it. If we can't beat Iran, if we can't get out of this group, then I was right. To be fair, I was right not to be bothered about this World Cup. I expect us to beat Iran today. I expect us to beat the US. I would hope that we'll beat Wales. If not, it doesn't even matter anyway. If we beat Iran, we beat the US, get a draw against Wales, we're fine. Top of the group, get out of it. Now I know it gets a bit sticky in that half of the draw, but so what? If what we want to do is win it, you're going to have to beat some good teams along the way. You really are. And I just want him to go for it. What I don't want to do is, I think he's going to have to start Declan Rice, he's going to start Bellingham. Don't try and turn Bellingham into a defensive midfielder. Let him express himself. Let him get forward. Declan can cover it all there. And even if it's looking like they're sitting back a lot, let Declan go forward a little bit as well. Let's have an expansive team. Let's have a team that we can fall in love with. Because that will get everybody on side. We go and score loads and loads of goals, look really good. The fervour that the team can whip up can probably counterbalance all that stuff about, you know, there being no merchandise available in the shops, the pubs not having the big screen in the garden, the barbecues not going on. Just like that summer tournament feeling. We can't do that, so we need something from the team. And I think, you know, getting a free scoring team will really help that. What I don't want to see is for Southgate to immediately, once, I don't know, Calvin Phillips played 20 minutes or he thinks he's fit, as we get further in the tournament, Bellingham's taken out of the team and Calvin Phillips goes in there. That's the wrong thing. And if he does that and he loses, then he deserves to lose the job, really. I was going to say he deserves everything he gets. Not right, is it? I've just said he's a nice bloke and then say he deserves everything he gets. No, I want him to do well. I want the team to do well. I'd be great to see England win a World Cup. It really, really would. But I can't help it. I cannot. I was going to do a lot of videos about England and the World Cup, and look, we'll be covering it later on over on the main channel. But I actually thought I was going to do sort of like 2 weeks and build up to the World Cup, but I'll just be feigning interest. I've not been interested at all, and it's you would know if I was there sat in his chair, hey, England and the World Cup, come on. I think you'd know. You'd think they don't care, and I don't. So I'm hoping I do. I'm hoping I grow into it. Unlike that jumper that I bought a few weeks ago, I've definitely grown it. Have you noticed? I've put on a few pounds. I've been on the donuts. Oh, I've been on a lot of stuff. Anyway, got to sort it out. At least I'm not going to the pub and drinking when the World Cup's on. That's something. Anyway, there you go. We'll be here an hour and 5 minutes before kickoff. Kickoff's at 1 p.m. So, well, I can do my maths on that. It's 11:55. It'll be a normal build-up show and business as usual, I guess, in just the same way that we try and cover it with West Ham. So let's hope we get off to a win. Good luck to you. What are you bunking off work? Oh yeah, you're bunking off work. I know you are. What are you doing? You pulling a sickie? Are you rearranging your lunch break as an extended lunch break? It's weird. It's weird. I've got to say, it all feels a little bit odd. Anyway, I will see you, whether you've got the day off, if you've been clever and booked the day off, whether you're bunking off, whether you are, whatever, whether you're going to, you might just pretend you've got a tummy ache and sit in the toilet for a long time, watch it on your phone. I don't know, that conjures up a nasty image. I'm going to go now.